Okay, guys, as I've been saying, I'm going to go over all the calls I make from now on in these videos, so that way there's a complete record of my calls. I made my first call today was on SanDisk. You can see this is a daily chart, huge gap down there. That line is actually left over from where I told everybody I was looking to buy it. Huge gap down, so let's go to fives. And I'm not going to zoom in because it's too cumbersome, but you can see that after the gap down you had kind of a tight base there, okay? I was looking to go long over this base. See that blue line? I actually drew the blue line when it looked like this. And my call was in the announcements. It popped up SanDisk 3514 trigger idea 3489 stop, and next thing you know, whoops, don't want to do that. There's the trigger right there. It gets through the high of the day, which was what I was looking for, and about, let's see, 5, 10, 15 minutes later, it's all the way up almost to 36. 35.14 was the call, 25 cents risk, and it went to 35.97. 83 cents in our favor, scaled out on the way up, and a nice trade. It actually gave a nice move later in the day and did it without me. It caught me sleeping, but very nice move there too. Okay, so that was my first call of the day. My second one was PGR. Okay, PGR was in this big sell-off. What I like to do when I see a big sell-off like this is I usually click on my 60 button up here, which takes me out to 60-minute candles. And that way it gives me a quick month or two view of the stock, okay? What do you see here? A whole bunch of consolidation. A week and a half, 2 weeks worth maybe, something like that, on PGR, right around 21.50. So now, when I go back to today's trading, and it's selling off, I know 21.50, let me zoom in here, is an interesting area, okay? So I ended up switching to 2-minute candles. Let's go back to that area again, and tried to call it, because I wanted to catch it as close to 21.50 as I could, but still using candlesticks and have it move in my favor when it triggers, okay, when we buy it. So I'm looking to go long the first break of a previous 2-minute candles high. 21.54 right here was the first time it did that. 21.54, my stop goes below the previous candles low at 21.40. 14 cents risk, and it makes it to about 21.80 before finally rolling over. I won't go into my pathetic trade with that because I barely made enough for a sandwich. I didn't handle it well, but didn't lose on it. But it did give a decent trade, and some of our members did make money. And then later in the day, this is my only other call, was J.C. Penney's. Called it right here at 21.59 with a 21.39 stop, and it moved to 21. What am I getting these numbers from? Let me try that again. 33.59. I'm sorry, it's been a long week. With a 33.39 stop, so 20 cents risk, and it only bounced to 33.69. Bounced a dime, went sideways the rest of the day. Again, the reason for this call, big sell-off here, go out on 60s, had a nice support here at 33.50 here, here, went down below it here, but back up through it. So, you know, support, this was options expiration, so you do get a lot of nonsense. But the idea made sense, it just didn't do anything after I called it. So there was my 3 calls for the day. SanDisk was a great way to start the day. And then I also want to talk about HOG. I typed into the chat room HOG wow when I saw it like this. I mean, big move there, right? And one of our members, Big, said, hey, I'm going to play this on twos. Now, typically, that's what we teach in the chat room, is when you get a big volume, big move on the chart, okay, and you don't want to just randomly grab it. I like to use candlesticks for my entries, okay? I like it to be going in my favor, but I don't want to chase, okay? So when we see a big push like this, typically we'll switch to twos. I actually projected this, and this is another blunder of mine. These videos are getting embarrassing this week, all my blunders, but I actually projected this when it looked like this. And I was telling everybody, I was on everybody's screen, I was telling everybody this is typically the way I would play something like this, was to look for a break of a previous 2-minute candles high. That way, you're having sellers come in, and when these sellers fail, you might get another leg higher, okay? When one of our members went ahead and just played this on twos, I don't know how many of our members did actually, but one of our all-stars, Big, took this on twos I know of, which would be over this candle if it gets there, right? 50.66, and your stop goes below this candle around 50.40, 26 cents risk. Look what happens. There's the trigger. Remember, these are 2-minute candles, so 50.66, about 10 minutes later, it's almost to 52. Huge trade there by some of our members. What did I do wrong? I was projecting it, and I saw this wide candle. I said, well, it's kind of wide, but, you know, it could still work. And then I went on to, you know, whatever, XYZ. I went on to looking at other stocks. Huge mistake there, because it's really one of those, boring days while everything chopped around. So and here's a trading lesson for everybody: when you do get something with volume and passion, don't look a gift horse in the mouth like I did. Don't walk away and start looking for other stuff. That's a trade right there. Anyway, I hate when these videos end up being highlighting my stupidity, but that's what's happening here on Hog. Still, some people made money on it, and I guess I'm a little proud that I was projecting it, and a lot embarrassed that I didn't take the trade myself. All right, I'm gonna leave this. I'm gonna leave this where it is, and I hope everybody has a great weekend, and we'll see you guys on Monday.